Hi guys, welcome back to Let's Heal, and those of you who are new, welcome. I'm Anamika and this is Let's Heal, a community for you and I to come together and talk about things that no one talks about. Mental health being the most important. So it's still Diwali time, and that's why you might hear some explosives in the background because the children of my neighborhood are still posting crackers, and it irritates me to my core. But somehow I can't do anything about it because they're gem of the parents are not doing anything about it. But nonetheless, we'll ignore that and talk about things that matter to us. I mean, this matters to us as well, but let's focus on the things that we can control, which is our mental health. So I thought of making these IGTV videos for you guys where I talk about raw and random topics which I deal with on a day-to-day basis, and just share my experience with you or some tips and tricks that are working for me, and take your feedback on what's working for you and what's not working for you. So right now I was going through a conflict in my head, which is very common for me because I have high functioning anxiety. So overthinking and spiraling and you know having one or the other dilemma and conflict in my head is very common for me. It happens on a daily basis, and somehow it's become an epidemic these days because I know that a lot of the people, especially millennials, go through it. So it's been so many years since I've been like this, and I know that I don't want to be like this anymore. So now I have started to consciously shift my focus from a problem focused mindset to a solution focused mindset. Like, I want to go for solutions now. I want to go for being a problem solver. So that's what I'm trying to do. And I think personally, what I feel can be the first step for me is writing. So in a therapeutic setup, you call it CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, which again you need a therapist for if you want to go about it systematically. But these days, thanks to the internet, you can also find some spreadsheets on the internet and try to administer it on yourself, whatever works for you. But even if you don't want to indulge into CBT, you can just go for writing in general, because writing is a beautiful cathartic, therapeutic and releasing exercise which can help you stop brainstorming too much and actually go for some solutions, because you start viewing things tangibly and structurally when you write them. So that's what I'm going to start doing. Like, I am a writer. I've been writing articles and blogs and poetry for years now. But when it comes to writing for myself, I haven't really developed that habit. I haven't cultivated journaling and diary writing as a habit as of now. But now I think that it's high time that I do that, because I have seen and known and heard its therapeutic effects helping people everywhere. And also, whenever I used to write those articles and poems, I remember how relaxed and relieved I used to feel. So why not do it for my problems and triggers as well? When it comes to conflicts, I've realized that conflicts arise because I find myself in a dilemma, in a battle with my inner self and my outer self, like who I am at the core of my being, my actual or basic nature, and my external factors. When the two of them don't align, of course, there is a conflict. And it's common with most of us, I guess, because of societal pressure or conventions. We have to put up a face which we don't really relate to or identify with. This is not to say that we become fake, but we kind of adjust our behavior and our actions as per our outer surroundings. But sometimes that becomes a hindrance in our personal growth. So I find myself being in conflicts because of these things most often than not. Like, I know that this is not something I relate to or something that I abide by or identify with, but I also know that it's the need of the situation and I have to, do it accordingly. And then it bothers me and bugs me. Now, this is just one example of an everyday conflict that I can or cannot face, or that might happen to you guys as well. So, um, that's when I start spiraling and overthinking. But I think, again, what works for me is when I start to talk about it with myself, and I try and make two and two four, and I tell myself, I give myself a direction to these, um, mindless and chaotic thoughts. Why am I feeling this way? Is it justified? Is it rational? Or is it something that can be worked on, or something that can be changed or improved, or something which doesn't require a second thought? And after hours and days and weeks of brainstorming and overthinking, and sometimes even months or years, I somehow get out of that conflict, and sometimes I don't get out of it, and that's an unhealthy pattern of a coping mechanism. But now, as I said, I want to change that. And that's why I think I have decided to switch to more productive and workable means, and writing is somehow the top of them. I want to start giving a direction and a structure to my thoughts. And as I said, writing is one of that. The the next step would be reflection. Like once you've written down what is going on with you, when you have asked yourself questions and you have kind of, totally surrendered and given in to that situation, to expose yourself to your vulnerabilities, the next step is to reflect on that and ask yourself why or why not are you doing or feeling this way, and what can you do to change it. And that's how you shift your focus and your mindset from a, problem focused approach to a solution focused approach. Because let's face it, no matter how much you cry or crib or whine about it, at the end of the day you have to help yourself. You have to be your primary healer. If you have somebody in your life who can help you in these things, great. If you can afford to have a professional help, a therapist, a psychologist, a counselor, even better. But even along with those people, you yourself have to be your biggest and best helper as well. And if you don't have such people in your life, then it becomes all the more important for you to take care of your own self. So I wouldn't digress much and stretch this too much. And again, I'm sorry for the background noise, but just to cut it short, what I mean is that no matter what trigger you're facing, no matter what conflict you're facing, no matter what dilemma you're in, if you think that this is something that doesn't align with your basic nature or with who you are, if it's making you uncomfortable, or if it's making you cringe, or if it's something that is somehow not settling in with you, then talk to yourself. Introspect, write, brainstorm, reflect, and come to a conclusion. And then learn to let go. Because you can't be sailing in multiple boats at the same time thinking that you will get through it, completely being aware of that you're not able to get through it. You have to identify your patterns and start breaking them. Just because you have been doing something for the longest time doesn't mean that you have to keep doing it even now. And as I said, that these videos are going to be raw and generic because I'm literally just pouring my heart and mind out here on the things that I know can be troublesome for you guys, as they are for me as well. And this is just my approach of how I'll be dealing with these things, and I'll share my experience with you, whether writing about it, brainstorming it, reflecting on it worked for me or not. And I hope you guys do the same and share your experience in the comment section below. I'm uploading this video on IGTV, and I may upload it on YouTube as well, because as many people that can be helped to my videos, the better. So yeah, that's it. Just keep in mind that these triggers, these conflicts, these confusions are not a part of who you are. They're not a part of your nature or your personality. Sometimes they just arise out of an unbalanced state of mind, which causes anxiety, or this could be a trauma induced pattern that you're in, or this could be because of some screwed up coping mechanism that you have learned as you grew up. But you have to understand that this does not define you, and you don't have to live with being like this forever. What you have to do is you have to learn to identify these patterns, and you have to learn to break them through constructive and productive and structured means, writing being one of them, and being, I think, one of the most important of them. So let's write, let's reflect, let's brainstorm, let's break the patterns, and let's heal ourselves. Because if not us, then who else? I heal you, you heal me, together we heal the world. Let's heal. Bye.